Hi everyone. In this short video I'd just like to look back at the session we did this morning when we looked at how we might answer question 2 on the reading paper. That question normally asks us to analyse a newspaper article, and there are normally three elements we need to consider. There's the headline, there's the photograph or an image, and then there's some paragraphs of text, and our job is really to analyse those three elements and show how they are linked. Now let's start with the headline, and we talked a little bit about how the reference to the X factor was used by the writer to engage the reader's interest. It's a very popular TV programme and bound to engage the reader's interest in a headline. We saw the use of alliteration in the repetition of the letter F there, and we also saw talons there as being an example of a pun. We expect the word talent or talents, but actually we find the word talons, so that's kind of that's the writers using a little play on words, a pun. Also there is here what we call an ellipsis, which prompts the reader to pause slightly before reading on to the second half of the headline. And that's a neat stylistic technique really, because within the headline we have the contrast between two worlds really. We have the world of Saturday night talent competitions on the television, and then we have this reference to what we find out is going to be the topic of the article, which is eagle racing in Asia. So even within the headline we have this contrast between two cultures being highlighted. Now we need to talk a little bit about the detail within the photograph, and we can see here we've got some very fine detail of the eagle. It's the photograph has been chosen because it illustrates some dramatic action. We see the eagle tearing at the meat, held in its sharp talons, and it's we see the horseman's padded arm there, and the horseman's outfit or costume all in furs. So there's a sense immediately of there being quite an exotic difference in this type of competition. So that picture has been chosen to engage the reader's interest and begin to develop further the idea of cultural contrast that's within the headline. And even in the caption we can see the use of colloquial language like tucking in, grabs a bite, sort of everyday language, which is slightly at odds really with the exotic content of the article. So let's have a look in more detail at the text itself and pull out three key ideas really that link the photograph and the text. We've talked a little bit about the cultural contrasts, and we see that signalled in the very first sentence there. We've given more information about the Kazakh culture later on, so there's this idea of the rich cultural contrast is presented in the headline and the photograph, and we see that idea being developed in the text. The photograph gave us plenty of information about the eagle, its appearance, and we're given more information about the eagle in the text, about its size, its claw-like talons. We'll just colour those in green, and we've got a little bit more information later about the plumage. And we saw that the photograph was chosen because of its dramatic action, and again that action, that drama is explained in the text there in more detail. The eagle is left on the mountainside. The horseman has to call the eagle that then flies and lands on the owner's outstretched arm. All the way through then there's this idea of competition and contest, and the contrast between the two types of contest is the key theme of the text. And those are some of the key ideas that you need to bring out in your written answer. So in terms of the headline, remember you need to say a lot about a little. Headlines by definition don't have many words, but you need to kind of look at the different stylistic techniques that the writer has used to craft that headline. Take time to bring out the key bits of detail within the photograph and make links between those and the headline and the text. And then in different ways identify and use little quotes from the text that develop information that's presented earlier by the headline and the image.